Thank you so much for your kind introduction. Let me just pull my PowerPoint out. Yeah. And well, I get to know Ken Survive for quite a while, actually, more than 10 years, when you first came to Malaysia. And this is the first time that I have the opportunity to share with your members and also the general public. What I try to do is this afternoon is just to share my experience. Yeah, I will not know, I won't be in the position to know everything about Qigong. It's such a huge topic. I'll just share those which I have experienced and I know about it. Before we proceed, can everybody hear me loud and clear?
I hear you well, so I assume that everybody does.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And as we know, Qigong is actually originated from China. Yeah, it's an art from China. Just think about in fact, if you want to look at the history of Qigong, nobody knows how long it is, but from the literature and so on, I think at least it's about 5 to 6 thousand years. Yeah. So think about 5 to 6 thousand years back. People can get sick. We get sick today, they also get sick. When they are sick, what do? There isn't any traditional medicine around. For example, traditional Chinese medicine is about 2,000 over years, acupuncture 2,000 over years, traditional Indian medicine about 3,000 years. But 6,000 years ago, when somebody is sick, what do? So this is a very interesting question and observation. And the Qigong is actually the accumulation of the wisdom that accumulated over the year. People notice that when they do something, they get better, they improve their health condition. So with all this knowledge accumulated along, we actually form this art called Qigong. Yeah. And if in terms of proper recording, it's about 4,000, 5,000 years since the Yellow Emperor time. Yeah. And in this book, One Ti Jing, yeah, very classic internal medicine book, is actually they are recording about the art of Qigong. So, but what is really Qi? Qi is vital energy, which is known and exists in all the cultures, not only Chinese. Yeah? For example, in India, they refer it as prana. In Japan, they call it ki. So this is this Chinese character is how we write in Chinese, qi. It's very interesting if you understand the character, what does it mean? Yeah. Today we don't have enough time, so I will just skip that. Okay? And Qigong, we can look at it as art of energy. Yeah? And it's classified by WHO as a form of energy medicine. And energy medicine has gained a lot of popularity in recent years. A lot of people look into the energy medicine. And in fact, if you're interested in energy medicine, even if you want to understand the art of Qigong, which is part of energy medicine, this is a list of some leading researchers. I highlight the four on top in yellow. These are names that we probably, most people get to heard about them. For example, Bruce Lipton, James Osmond, and so on. And if you read their research, especially like James Osmond, he really go into, for example, talking about energy healing, how energy healing works. That consists of Qigong healing, spiritual healing, acupuncture, and so on. Anything related to energy. He even discuss about acupuncture, yeah, scientifically how acupuncture works. Okay? So if you're interested, you can look into some of their research, their articles. Okay? So let's take a look from the traditional Chinese medicine perspective. From the traditional Chinese medicine perspective, the main cause of any ailment is actually blockages in energy. So when there's energy blockage, by the way, energy and blood circulation is very closely related. In Chinese, there's a term, Mandarin called 血气, blood and qi. It says that blood and qi are integrated. So you want to have a good blood circulation, your energy have to be strong. So if you have any blockages in your energy flow, then your blood circulation will not be healthy. If your blood circulation not healthy, then the certain part of the body will not have sufficient nutrient, oxygen, and so on. So eventually, over time, it will cause certain sickness. Okay, so blockages of energy is one of the main cause for any ailment. Yeah, and depiction of energy, not enough of energy. Yeah? Of course, there's blockages, then certain part of the body will have insufficient energy or imbalance. I think a famous or well-known saying is that yin-yang balance. Yin and yang must be balanced. So what is yin, what is yang? In Qigong practice, we classify energy into different category. Some of them belong to yin, some of them belong to yang, and then we have to make sure they are all balanced. If they're not balanced, over too much yang or too much yin, then you also cause any sickness. So from the traditional Chinese medicine point of view, this is the main cause ailment. From the Qigong practitioner point of view, we share the same perspective. So these are the prompt that people get. Okay, so with that, I will go right into what is Qigong practice. Okay? So when we practice Qigong, if you go to a traditional Qigong Sifu, they'll tell you, you practice Qigong, we're regulating your body. And then they use this term in Chinese called Wu Tiao, the 5 way of regulating the body. And they tell you regulating your body as the first one, regulating your heart, regulating your breath, regulating your qi, and regulating your essence. But what does this mean? Yeah. Unfortunately, I think not many traditional Qigong teachers are able to explain in modern terms. So I try to explain to you. When we say regulating the body, the heart, and all this, what does it mean from our today's, let's say, the terminology. So when we say we want to regulate a person's body, we are talking about physical body. Basically, we are looking into how to let this person has the proper and correct posture. I'm sure many of you in this room, you notice that if your posture is not proper, it can cause problem. Yeah. Say for example, you don't sit in the proper way, you may end up with a lumbar problem, or you may end up with some other problem. So posture is very important. So when you practice Qigong, either you're practicing in the standing movement way, they'll teach you when you stand how to stand in the proper way, or when you do practicing lying down position, they teach you when you lie down what is the proper posture lying down, or when you're practicing sitting posture, you also tell you when you sit what is the proper sitting. Okay, so regulating body is as good as that, making sure we have the proper posture. And regulating the heart emotion is actually very closely related. So it's talking about how are we going to making sure we can handle, we can manage our emotion. The heart is an organs, and somewhere near there, in the Qigong perspective, even in Indian system, like for example, Indian system, heart chakra. In the Qigong system, we have a middle dantian. This area, if the energy is blocked, then you created certain emotional problem. Or if a person has emotional problem, they will be ended up with energy blockage in that area. So when we're regulating the heart, it means that we are also trying to relieve any emotional impact. And different emotion will impact our health. Take for example, if a person always get angry, then long term the liver have problem. Yeah, things like this. Yeah, and then what about the regulating the breath? Regulating the breath, if you able to use a proper Qigong training method to regulate the breath, the most important end result is we're able to regulating our pH ratio. The pH ratio is very important. Yeah, I think as we go further, I will try to explain more what's important of pH ratio. Yeah, and why the Qigong practice able to help us in the area. Regulating Qi is to making sure, this is we're talking about energy at the cellular level. When we practice Qigong, yeah, every single cell in the body get affected. Yeah, and then later, a little part I will explain to you which part of the cell get affected. Why do we want to making sure energy at the cell level is in the proper range? And why is this so important? So as I go further later on, I'll explain that. And excellent means vitality. Yeah. So therefore, traditionally, this is a term that we use in the Qigong term. We're regulating the body, regulating the heart, the breath, the qi, and the accent. But in the normal modern term, we are talking about the proper posture, the emotional management, regulating the proper pH ratio, the energy at cellular level is proper, and vitality is high. So this is the practice of Qigong, the main purpose of practicing Qigong. And in Qigong practice, we also just now talk about regulating, now talk about balancing. What are we balancing? We're balancing the yin and the yang, the two type of energy, two category energy, the yin type, the yang type. And within this yin and the yang, there are so-called 5 elements. Yeah. So there are 5 elements. This is the Chinese 5 elements. It's not the Indian 5 elements, slightly different. Okay. So we have the wood, the fire, the earth, the metal, and the water. Because in the Chinese medicine and the Qigong, this is a very important category, different type of energy that we have in the body. The 5 elements represent the whole body. Say, for example, each organs, we can then classify them under one of the elements, and all the elements have to be balanced. In other words, all the organs will function at its optimum and able to support each other and able to control each other. Don't make sure that you will not be overworking. Yeah. So this is basically the main purpose why we practice Qigong. Yeah, from a traditional perspective. Okay, so it's very interesting to share with you a quote by this gentleman. Yeah, he's the Nobel Prize winner in physiology, and back in 19 something, I can't remember which year. And his famous quote is that in every culture and in every medical tradition before ours, it means in all the traditional medicine, yeah, or all the traditional healing, healing was accompanied by moving energy. It's interesting, yeah. Even a scientist like him, he says that when we do healing for a human body, yeah, especially looking into all the traditional methods and so on, it always involving moving of energy. Because traditionally, whether you're talking about the Chinese Qigong, you're talking about the Indian yoga system and so on, there are many paths of energy path. In Chinese, it's called meridian. In the Indian system, it's called narid. Okay, so there are all the paths in the body that the energy flow along those paths. Yeah. And then earlier I was sharing with you that if there's any blockages along any of this path, or if any part of your body energy that is depleted or they are not balanced, then you end up with health issue. So therefore, healing always related to energy. Yeah, is it interesting? Therefore, the Qigong practice is so important as part of the integrated approach for anybody who wants to have a healthy body. Yeah. So therefore, even Qigong is about 6,000 years, a very ancient art. It is very, very scientific. Okay. But then the Qigong practice, I'm sure everybody in this room know what Qigong, otherwise we will not attend this talk. I'm also very sure many of you in this room, you may have tried or you may have been trained in Qigong. So let's take a look at Qigong practices. Sometimes you see people do certain movement, a certain sequence of movement. Yeah. So there's a form of Qigong practice. You move, and at times you may see people standing in the park and stand there for a long time in a different certain posture. This can also be a way of Qigong practice. Or you see people are walking, they walk in a certain way, yeah, whether by themselves, in a group, or around the tree and so on. That's also a form of Qigong practice. And you may also see that somebody, when they do the soul practice, they make sound. They're making certain sound, yeah. Or, sorry, I think there's one of the, there should be another thing here, I don't know, right? There should, you can also practice in a sitting position or lying down position. Okay, so I think there's one diagram which is missing here. By right, there should be one over here. There's somebody lying down or sitting, like meditation. So these are, all these are Qigong practice. So if that's the case, then you become very confusing. What is the proper way of so-called practice. Do I have to practice everything? Do I have to practice movement, practicing standing, and so on and so forth, using sound and all and so on. So this is something I want to also share this afternoon to summarize a little bit about history of Qigong, different type of Qigong, the different training method, and then each training method, what are the uniqueness of it. So that if you are interested in Qigong to solve a certain specific problem, then you will know what to look for. Yeah. Okay, so the type of Qigong and also the different practice method. Yeah. So first of all, remember I mentioned just now that 6,000 years ago, people practicing Qigong to improve their health. That's called wellness. They improve their health. And at the same time, after a period of time, they notice that when they reach a certain level, they are able to use their so-called energy to help other people to improve their health. Healing, yeah, that's called therapeutic. So 6,000 years back, practices Qigong for the two purposes of self-healing, wellness aspect, and also help other people. In today's term, we refer this sort of practice as medical Qigong. So in medical Qigong, there are two areas. One is a practitioner will practice to improve their own health. And then the next area is for them to train to a certain level that they are able to help other people using energy. And and then start developing, things start evolving and developing about approximately 3,000 years back. The Buddhists, the Taoists, they noticed that, hey, the Qigong practice is very good. So what they did is they did certain modification and so on, and they focus into two areas. One area is that they want to improve their own health, their wellness aspect, and then at the same time, because the Taoists and the Buddhists, they also want to improve their spirituality. So, for example, the Buddhists, they are emphasizing about, let's say the Taoist center of longevity, and so on. So they want to look into the spiritual aspect. So what they did is they took the original practice method of improving their own health. At the same time, they came up with other practices, method, where they were able to improve their spirituality. So we refer to that kind of Qigong practice as religion Qigong. Some people call it spiritual Qigong. Yeah. And approximately about 1,500 years ago, there is this so-called martial art Qigong that has been introduced. I think the representation of that would be like Shaolin Temple. I think everybody heard of Shaolin. The Shaolin monk, when they do practices Qigong, they practice to improve their health. At the same time, they practice to improve their self-defense. They practice to toughen their body and so on. We refer that kind of practice as martial art Qigong practice. And we also have so-called health Qigong practice. So health Qigong practice is to practice to improve one's health. So as you can see, all the different Qigong practices have the similar component of practicing to improve your own health. So, and then in medical Qigong, in addition to wellness aspect, they also have a therapeutic where you heal others. In religion Qigong, you add on the spirituality aspect. In martial Qigong, the self-defense, and then the health Qigong is just solely for one's own health. So these three, we refer them as a wellness type. Yeah, the wellness type. So like in Malaysia, in fact, Malaysia is the only country in the world at this point in time has a traditional medicine act. They call it the TCM Act. It's a law to govern all the practitioners where they are doing any form of healing outside of the modern medicine. Okay, so in under the act, if you are doing wellness type of Qigong, you are not affected by the act. But when you do therapeutic, then you have to be licensed, or you have to be certified. Okay, so by objective, these are the 4 different types, right? And what is the training methods? How do each of these different Qigong train? Okay? In fact, all the different types of Qigong, the training are using movement, using breathing technique, using visualization, or using sound, the 4 types. So irrespective of Qigong a person's practice, whether it's health Qigong or medical Qigong or martial Qigong, you use 1 of these, 2 of these, 3 of these, or all the 4 of these. If you are practicing medical Qigong, you have to know all the 4. If you are doing, let's say, martial Qigong, most of the time you are using like movement and breathing. You do region Qigong, you probably do breathing, visualization, and movement. Part of it is movement as well. So depending on what type of Qigong you're practicing, what is the objective of practice, they will be using this method. Yeah. However, you have to understand, even let's say each of these methods, say for example, breathing, which we're going to go into study more detail later, because this is one of the simplest way to practice. After this discussion, I think you will be able to start at your own, yeah, on a certain specific breathing technique that you can use. At the same time, it's a very, very powerful way of practicing. But even in the breathing, in the Qigong breathing, there are so many types. Yeah, you have Dantian breathing, you have normal breathing, you have reverse breathing, you have skin breathing, you have all kind of breathing, okay? But today, later as we go, I will just speak a specific method, which is very easy to learn, and you'll be able to help most of people to improve their health issue. So that will be the last part of today's discussion. So in terms of form of school, we do not know how many. It could be, somebody say 70,000, 100,000. For example, what I represent, WNQ, is only one of the 100 or 1,000 of school. Yeah, and we are belonging to the category of medical Qigong. So nobody will know how many. There are 312, maybe tomorrow there'll be A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and so on. So we don't look in Qigong into the form of the name of the school. We look into the purpose, the objective first. Then for objective, you look into the training method. So that's how we get to understand that particular training. Yeah. So these 4 methods, why are they 4? Why after 6,000 years, there's still 4? Not 5, not 3, not 1, because these 4 after thousands of years, it has been proven is very important. So I'm going to share with you these 4 methods. Each of them have its own uniqueness. Okay? Take for example, breathing method in traditional Chinese called Tu Na. It's a very easy to learn method. For example, I say inhale, everybody knows what's inhale. I say exhale, everybody knows what's exhale. I say hold your breath, everybody knows what is holding your breath. Okay, so therefore, it's one of the easiest ways to learn. Yeah, the uniqueness of this method is to enhance oxygen level. So compared to the other 3 methods, if you need to enhance your oxygen level, then this is the best way to do it. And then also to reduce acidity, and also to regulating the 5 elements. So it is very good for regulating the pH ratio. It's very good for relaxation. Yeah. So you may want to take a snapshot of this screen, so that if one day you think that you want to look for a certain Qigong to solve your issue, or to handle certain health issue, at least you know, should I look into a school where you at least have a breathing method, if let's say the pH ratio is something that you want to look at, or oxygen is one of the area you're looking at, then you should look into the training method, which consists of breathing. Yeah. And for the movement, traditional, we call it Dao Yin. Movement, you just do simple, gentle movement. Movement enhances the physical body, and yet it's not very physical. It's not like going to the gym or going to do running and so on. So it's something which is involving the physical body, and yet it's not too physical. Therefore, it's suitable for any age. Yeah, as long as you are able to stand up and can move, then you're able to do using such method. The uniqueness and the best for movement is involving the joints, the muscle, the bone, and also smoothing out the overall energy flow. Yeah. So if let's say you're looking into a problem which involving your joint, your nerve, and so on, then you have to use the training method that involve movement. Yeah. So let's say if somebody have a knee pain, somebody has a frozen shoulder, and you think that the Qigong practice can help you, then you should look for a method which involving movement. Yeah. And the sound using vibration methods. So for example, you can hear me because my voice have reached your ear, go to your brain that created certain vibration. And by that vibration, it vibrated certain part of brain that can recognize the words that I'm using. Okay. So every single sound has a vibration that can vibrate our brain. Not only that, in Qigong term, you can also vibrate your meridians, different meridians. So certain syllables of sound have the ability to vibrating your different meridians. So if that involve the internal organ. So if let's say somebody want to improve their internal organs, say you want to improve the lung, okay? Say now with COVID affecting the lung, so you want to work on the lung, then the sound, the specific sound that is enhancing the lung will be the very good method to handle that. Okay, so that's the sound. So uniqueness to improve internal organs. Of course, your breathing, your movement may able to as well. However, if you are using the sound, you'll be directly going to the internal organs and the related meridians. And the thoughts or the visualization, working on the nervous system, dealing with the spiritual body or subconscious mind. So therefore, it's very good for distress. Yeah. So different Qigong practice method have its own uniqueness. At the same time, it's good for certain kind, solving certain kind of issue. So this is something that I think is very important for anybody who's seeking to practice Qigong or who are seeking for the help of Qigong. You should understand about this. Okay. And in Qigong, we're talking about, just now I'm talking about the cell healing, and then we're talking about the therapeutic aspect. So now let me look into the cell healing. So in other words, if anybody who want to use Qigong to do cell practice to improve his own health issue, so what are the steps that you should do? Yeah, of course, the first thing, as I mentioned, just select the practice method or methods, maybe one method or combination of more than one method that addresses the health issue that you have. So that's the first thing. Yeah. So you for example, is involving your physical body, then your practice must involve the physical movement. But of course, physical movement, there are many types of physical movement. The next issue will be you have to look into physical movement that addresses your shoulder. Yeah. So, but first thing first, you select the practice method or methods that addresses the health issue. And once you're done the first step, then the practice itself, there are certain steps that a complete and proper Qigong training method usually will follow. So the method will be, first of all, the body has to be loosening. Yeah. So the more loosen your body is, the energy flows better. And then followed by activating your energy. Your energy have to be activated. And after activation, then you should be able to circulate along a certain path. And then there should be technique to direct the energy to go to the affected area so that your issue can be addressed. So go to affected area to flush the blockages, to cleanse the blockages, to enhance energy. Yeah. So at the end of the day, after your practice, you should know how to proper ending, where you store energy, you do certain cell massaging. So this is the methodology of cell healing. Yeah. So as I said, most of the so-called Qigong school, they probably follow this sequence in the event of they may be looking, you look at it as a different sequence of movement, but the movement behind it, there are certain specific steps that help you to achieve what you want. Okay, so this is for the cell healing aspect. So I hope up to this point you have a clear idea that Qigong has different types of Qigong. They are for different purposes. there are different practice methods, the uniqueness of each practice method. And then in the medical Qigong, there are two areas. One is self-healing, when you practice a certain sequence of practice using the proper practicing method to achieve your result. And that is called, we call this self-healing, the wellness aspect. And then the next area, I think this is quite straightforward. I think it will be quite straightforward. Okay. And then the next area will be area of healing others, therapeutic. So the therapeutic is a bit more, I try to explain to you in layman term, how does it work, okay? So in the medical Qigong healing method, we uses a technical term called 外气疗法, translate into external energy healing method. So we're using external energy. What is external energy? External energy means energy outside of physical body. That's known as external energy. Yeah, and external energy method, you can be lightly touch a person, yeah, or you don't touch the person, or you can do remote. Remote means you do not see each other face to face. Let's say from Malaysia to Thailand, Malaysia to India, and so on. So example, like there will be I bring just a short video. This video is a touching method, lightly touch method for this person, the knee has problem. And this one is a non-touch method. We don't even touch the body, just send energy field to the person. And this is I think it's a lumbar or a spinal sclerosis. Yeah. So let me play this video so you have able to see what is it all about. Okay. So the therapist is just touching, very lightly touch the method. And as you can see towards the end of it, sorry, it's a bit too fast. Huh? Towards the end of it, you can see that that was actually the knee was actually out of position, the accident, and then by doing so, we did 6 sessions for that patient, and the knee back to normal. So the patient first came to us 4 years after accident and had to walk with a walking stick, and after that she can walk freely, she can stand properly. And this there is a touching method. We just lightly touch. We do not do any physical manipulation. Yeah. So this is a non-touch method. So the non-touch method, the therapy just send energy, creating an energy field, connected with the receiving party's energy, and then the body will self-align, the body will self-react. Yeah. So this is a spine, which is sclerosis. If I remember correctly, this lady have an X curve. Yeah. So she will then do self-adjustment. Okay. So that is a non-touching method. So we are all working with the energy outside of the patient's body. Yeah. But then outside of the patient's body, because from the Qigong perspective, our energy is flowing within the body along the meridians, but the energy is electromagnetic in nature. Yeah. So electromagnetic in nature, just a magnet will create a magnetic field. So this physical body also have a layer of magnetic field. Yeah. So this magnetic field is outside the body. In the New Age term, called the aura. Okay. In the Qigong term, called external Qi. So this external Qi layer, and then protective Qi just along the skin. Yeah, protecting your body for away from the coolness, the dampness, and so on. Yeah. So when we say we are using 外气疗法, talking about working within the external qi. Yeah. So imagine the receiving party have this external qi layer. The person who is helping this person also have an external qi layer. As long as the two energy layer is interconnected, then the person who is trained should be able to regulate and collect whether any blockages or any form of depiction or imbalance in the receiving party's energy within the body. Yeah. Okay. So this is how the external Qi method been used. But is this really making sense? Okay. So let's take a look. The external Qi field, scientifically, the scientists refer to as biofields. You have biofields. So this is a physical body, and there's a biofield, electromagnetic field around the body. Biological processes generating a various kind of energy field that move about within the body. So that's along the meridian, and that are radiant into the space around the body, outside the body. There's external Qi. So collectively, the scientists call this and refer this as a biofield. So the internal Qi is a biofield, external Qi is a biofield. Yeah. So once you have the biofield, they give us a chance to be able to correct a person's, let's go back, correct a person's internal Qi from this outside. Yeah, from outside, from within this external Qi layer, we are able to, because it's interrelated, whatever that radiates out of the body is representing whatever is in the body. So when there's any blockages, it will show in the external Qi field as well. Okay, so from the biofield, we were able to know. And then, since my energy is just outside the body, how can my energy able to influence, the keyword is influence, or correct or influence or regulate that receiving party's energy in the body. So we know energy have frequency, energy have vibration. So that it can be achieved if you are able to accept this concept, the resonance effect, yeah, or the what do you call it, the tuning forks. You know the tuning fork. Let's say there's I do not know whether you've seen this. This is a tuning fork, a pair of it. Okay, so when you hit here, they will create a sound, right? Create a sound. That means a certain vibration is going on. And even though these two have not touched each other, this wave will come to here, and the wave will be able to vibrate this receiving tuning fork. Even though you stop the sound from here, this will carry on. Yeah. So that shows us that molecules do not have to be touched to interact. So in other words, I can just work with within your external energy field. Yeah. The moment my vibration is at a certain frequency, so the healer, the so-called healer, just for explanation, the healer energy at certain frequency, what happened? You will influence the receiving party, let's say the patient's energy vibration. Yeah. So when energy vibration is at a healthy frequency, then the problem is solved. Say, for example, any blockages will then be unblocked. If there's depiction, you're able to enhance it to the level, okay? So by doing so, you're able to balancing the yin and the yang. Yeah. So therefore, it is pretty scientific, or pretty acceptable from the scientific point of view, using the external energy field healing method. Okay, so of course this is the very basic of it. This is a very basic principle and theory. In the proper medical Qigong healing perspective, let's say I'm talking about from our system, the WNQ system, we have a proper protocol. Okay, we have a technique to diagnose a person. We do observation method, we listen, we investigate, we scan the body, the energy, then from there to determine which part of body have blockages, which part of body have not enough energy, and whether there's any imbalance. And under each of these conditions, we have proper steps for us to rectify it. Yeah. So, and then once we rectify, we also have a so-called post-treatment protocol. We may do counseling of the patient, because the patient problem could be related to certain emotional issue. We have to do certain counseling, or we have to teach the patient certain exercises to counteract their maybe their lifestyle, their habit, or their physical let's say condition. Take for example, if somebody come to us and having an ankle problem, and then because of exercise that created the ankle problem. Yeah, and then you check, you find out, oh, the ankle problem is actually the main cause is not just ankle. The main cause is because this person have low arch So when you have low arch, and then they say, for example, this person playing very regular tennis and very very kind of comparative type of tennis, then over time the ankle will give way. Yeah, just like a footballer may have problem with the ankle, with the knee, and so on. So by doing so, we will then not only taking away the pain, or not only removing the issue ankle, we have to teach the patient certain exercises to counteract the low arch, so that in future the same problem come back again. Yeah, and so these are so-called the post-treatment protocol. So it is not just simply sending energy, receiving energy. Yeah, that is not good enough. Okay, so there is a proper protocol to diagnose, to do proper steps protocol to do treatment, and also the post-treatment protocol. Yeah, and at the same time, we recognize that the body, the physical body is supported by energy body. We call it the energy body, but there's another body which is very important. There's a spiritual body. Let's say a person may be under stress, or the person may be always very negative. So all this spirituality aspect, emotional aspect can affect the energy. So because of that, we also have to look into the holistic approach when we are doing healing for the person. We look into the mind, emotion, stress. We also discuss with them about the diet, yeah, whether their diet is balanced, whether the diet is healthy. We're talking about exercises, what are Qigong exercises they should do. And we look into whether the person have do detoxification of body, is it necessary? And also another area is external factor. External factor could be environment. Take for example, if this person may be located or reside at the area where it's affected by geophatic line, and the geophatic line have emitted certain radiation all the time, and this person exposed to it, so therefore they created a problem. So if we do not handle the aspect, then the same problem may come back again. Okay, or the person always charging the phone next to where they sleep, yeah, and so on. So this created a lot of radiation. So these are so-called external factor. So the holistic approach in the medical Qigong healing covers all the different area to cover the spiritual body, the energy body, and the physical body. Yeah. Okay, our body is made up of cell. Yeah, the tissue make organ make the system make the body. If you break down the tissue, you go down to the atom. If you look into what is inside the atom, is a proton, neutron, electron. Yeah, so these are all energy. Yeah? These are all energy. That's the reason why Mr. Albert had mentioned about all the traditional healing involving energy. Okay, but when we say energy, then let's take a look of slightly more than that. So therefore, in the medical Qigong healing, we are working on energy, Qi energy. Yeah, but then before we go into the more detail in the aspect of where is the energy stored, how does it store? Let me just perhaps just skip this one. Yeah, come back to here. Come to here first. Yeah. Well, in the medical Qigong, whether it's healing or practicing, it works on every single cell of our body. Okay? Our body cell has the cell membrane, and inside there you have the all the energy, and then and so on. Your DNA, everything is in here as well. So this is a simple diagram of a cell. And very important is the cell membrane. For us in the medical Qigong practitioner, we're looking at the cell membrane because a healthy cell membrane should be between 70 to 90 MV. M stands for over a million volt. Huh? So 70 to 90 over a million volt as a cell membrane. When the cell membrane is, maybe use a simple word, fully charged, okay? Cell potential or the cell membrane potential is fully charged at this, then the cell will be a healthy cell. So what happened is in the cell membrane, energy-wise, outside actually is positive, inside is negative. So when the positive and negative at the full charge, you will be able to create very, very tiny holes, just like a pores, very, very tiny holes. So this tiny hole will be fully open out, okay? And through these tiny pores, the oxygen and the nutrient will then be absorbed into the cell, supplied to the cell. And the cell, after using all the nutrient and so on, will create waste, yeah, like uric acid, water, and then because all the pores are fully open, the waste can be fully discharged. So this cell is healthy, yeah. So a healthy cell is 70 to 90 MV. However, a cancerous cell, the cell membrane is less than 20 MV. That means it's not fully charged. So when it's not fully charged, what happened? Okay. When it's not fully charged, some pores will be open, some pores will be closed. So therefore, not all the nutrients can be absorbed, partially get rejected, and not all the byproduct, the waste can be discharged, partially retained. So this cell is unhealthy. So unhealthy cell, initially, it becomes a cyst. And if you don't correct it, it becomes a tumor. You don't correct it again, eventually become cancerous. Yeah. So from the energy perspective, at the cellular level, this is what happened. So when we practice Qigong, we are actually trying to bring the brain potential to as close to 70 to 90 as possible. So in other words, we want to reverse from unhealthy cell into healthy cell. Yeah. So this is what it is happening. Okay. So let me go back to. Okay. So let's take a look of some of the key factors that may help in the healing of cancer. So let's say, for example, if somebody has cancer and then you want to look into using Qigong, the Qigong is not a wonder magic way. Doesn't mean that you can solve all kind of problem. So we need to know what can be solved, what cannot be solved, which area that able to help a person. Yeah? So first of all, as I mentioned a few times earlier, enhancing oxygen level is a way. Yeah, because but this provided you're using breathing method, you're using movement and sound and so on, this cannot be achieved. So you incorporated breathing method, then you can enhance oxygen level. Yeah, and that's very important. You can reduce acidity. Yeah, improve oxygen, reduce acidity. Therefore, what happened? Regulating the pH ratio, and pH ratio is so important. Yeah, later I will share with you some research by Dr. Octo, yeah, and by doing so, you practice Qigong only doing this, you can also improve your immunity. Say, take for example, somebody go for a cancer marker test. In the cancer marker test, there are many tests. Some marker is, if it's, let's say I'm a man, so I just talk about related to men. Let's say, for example, prostate cancer marker, PSA marker, as long as within 4, we are okay. Beyond 4 means you have to be careful what happened, right? Then certain marker 30, certain marker 0. But the question is, how come within 4 for the PSA marker is acceptable? It's because this tells us two factors. Number one, our body at any point in time always have cancer cell in the body. Yeah. So cancer cell is part and parcel of our body. However, if let's say the PSA level is remain at 4, that means it's not go beyond or not sort of explode to a level that the body cannot control. What do you mean body cannot control? The immunity cannot control. We have immunity, we have cancer cell in the body, immunity and the cancer cell balance. Immunity, the immune system be able to control the marker. So the marker goes study up, you control it, come down and so on, and then you are okay. Yeah. Only when the cancer cell go beyond certain level that you continue overgrow, that you are not able to control it. And then at the end of the day, this cancer cell damaging our organs, then we become life-threatening. Okay. So take for example, if somebody's lung has a cancer tumor, but if this cancer tumor is not active, or if this cancer tumor can be controlled by immune system, then what happened? I mean, it's okay, it's not life-threatening. However, if the cancer cell keep on growing, that eventually damage the lung, you cannot breathe, your respiratory system get affected, then it becomes life-threatening. Yeah. So therefore, improving immune system is also a very important part of Qigong practice and Qigong healing. Yeah, to help in healing of cancer. Okay. And you also help to balance the internal organs and the hormonal production. So this is another important point to note. You can help to reduce your stress, can help to manage your emotions, yeah, and also it can reduce side effect like treatment they're receiving, like chemo treatment and so on. So later I give you some example in this area. Okay. So the importance of pH ratio, just like I'm talking about pH ratio. Yeah, Dr. Octo is a Nobel Prize winner in the year 1931, and his famous quote is, "No disease, including cancer, can live in an alkaline environment." Yeah. So what he found out is cancer cell only able to survive and multiply if the environment is acidic. However, if the acidity can be reduced, then the cancer cell cannot be multiplied or not able to survive. Okay? So therefore, his famous quote, "No disease, including cancer, can live in an alkaline environment." Yeah. So there's a reason why, just like I say, the pH ratio is very, very important for people who have any issue that related to cancer. Yeah. And then just now I'm talking about help to reduce side effect. What are some of the common side effects? Is somebody who are receiving some medical treatment, yeah, like chemotherapy. These are the common side effects. For example, tiredness, fatigue, yeah, insomnia, cannot sleep, no appetite, immune system will weaken, pain, numbness, nausea, depression, anger, irritation, and so on. These are some of the very common kind of side effect that a person may have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you how Qigong able to, well, I'm not able to tell how, but then I want to share with you one of our actual experience. This is about 12 years ago. We were invited to work with the Cancer Research Institute in India, okay, Himalayan Hospital. There's a Cancer Research Institute, and this is a founder, Swami Rama. Okay, so we're invited to go there to work alongside with the oncologists to help the cancer patient. So at the beginning of the of that project, we have a 5 years project where we send volunteers there. And each volunteer will go there, stay for 1 month, work with them, and then come back and the next volunteer will go. So that project was a 5 years project. And the beginning of the project, what we did is we did a kind of a project whereby we invited oncology to send us, they pick and choose. We have no say, they pick and choose the patient to us. We send a team, the project team. That's the only time the project team go together, the 18 people go together to the site. And then we were there for 3 days. In these 3 days, they send us a patient. Most of these patients, they are stage 4 at a very advanced stage. They're receiving many types of treatment. And then they have suffered for all those various side effects. And they send to us for 3 consecutive days. And these 3 consecutive days, each day, the therapy will do a session for them, and we track their progress over the 3 days. Yeah, and then the result was compiled by the doctor, and I will show you what's the result. Okay. Okay. So these are the common problem that they have. They have a team of, they send us a group of 24 patients. We have no choice. These are, I mean, we have no say. This is a patient that picked up by the oncologist. And as I mentioned, most of them are at stage 4. And then most of them, they have gone through all kinds of treatment. I think chemo is one of the common treatment. Some of them go through surgery, chemo, at a point of radiation, and so on. And these are a number of cases that involve in this problem called shortness of breath Okay, so there are out of the 24, there are 5 people have shortness of breath, complain about this. And then after the 3 days, what the number of improvement? All the 5 have improved. When I say improve, means totally don't have. If it's partially improved, not totally removed, we do not consider here. Okay, so improvement, and then we achieve 100% improvement. Yeah, and the next one, pain, different part of body, different kind of pain. There are 21 of them have this, and of which 16 of them have improved, and we achieve a 76% of improvement. Fatigue, 19 of them. There are 13 out of 19 that achieve improvement, 68%. And insomnia, cannot go to sleep. Yeah, there are 13 of them suffer from this, and 11 of them improvement, 85% achievement. Feeling very weak, fatigue, 23 of them, almost everyone, they are out, 23 out of 24. 18 of them improved, 78%. Appetite, no appetite, loss of appetite, 15 of them. 13 of them improved, achieve a percentage of 87%. Feeling nausea, 15 of them, okay. 12 of them improved, 80%. Occasional vomiting, yeah, they vomit, they cannot control, vomit. There are 10 of them have this problem. 8 of them have total improvement, achieve 80% achievement. Depression, 14, improvement 10, and achieve 71%. Anger, irritation, 18, 15, improve, 83. So you average out, we have achieved 81% improvement. So as you can see from here, like shortness of breath, in this particular example, we have managed to achieve 100% improvement. The lowest is, okay, this one, 14, 68, because it's just 3 days. We only work with them for 3 days only, 3 consecutive days. I believe if we work with them longer term, it should be okay. By the way, this has been presented in the World Ayurvedic Congress in Bangalore. I can't remember which year. This study has been presented there. Yeah, so this is a proper study in the hospital environment, have been supervised by the oncologist. And besides the Himalayan hospital, yeah, the Cancer Research Institute, we also have medical Qigong therapy in Lamwai Hospital in Penang, and the service has been there since June 2014. So it's about almost 8 years, yeah. But of course, last 2 years, because of the lockdown, we're not able to provide a service. But other than that, we have been always, other than Wednesday, it's an off day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, so 5 days out of 6 days, out of the 7 days a week, we have therapies there. Okay, so those of you who are from Penang, or those of you who have friends in Penang, if they want to seek any help, then just contact Lamwai Hospital. Okay, so these are the study that we have, or the experience that we have, and I will open for questions later on. But then before that, I will spend the next maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes to share with you a specific method, which is a Qigong breathing method, yeah, with you. So hopefully you can benefit from this sharing. Okay, as I mentioned, in the Qigong breathing method, there are many methods. If you are doing, let's say, for example, medical Qigong, you do certain method. You are doing whatever, you do certain method. Yeah, so there are many methods. I do not want to confuse you, but I'm going to pick one particular method, which is that we use, specifically addressing the health issue to share with you. Okay, this method we call this as normal abdominal breathing method. Yeah, because we move the abdominal. This abdominal, abdominal. So I will go a bit slow, and then when I go, if you're interested, you can try to follow. Okay, so basically in this method, why we call it abdominal method? Because when we inhale, we slowly expand the abdominal. When we exhale, we slowly contract abdominal. So to make it easy to remember, when you inhale, I use the word in, the stomach comes out, in, out. And when you exhale, I call it out, and then the stomach contract, I call it in. So in, out, out, in. Very easy to remember. Inhale, expand the abdominal. Exhale, contract the abdominal. So if you want to, you can try. You can be in sitting position, but some of you think that standing up easier, can also stand up if you wish to. So probably going to give you some guide, and you try that, yeah, and so that you have experience, understand what are we doing here, okay? So the inhalation, exhalation at this point in time, we use nose, nose inhale, nose exhale. Okay, that's what this diagram is doing. So now, if you want to, you can follow my instruction and try to do it, okay? So what I want you to do, you want use your nose to inhale, at the same time, expand your abdominal, okay? So relax, inhale, okay, then exhale, okay, relax, yeah? So I hope you can do it. When you inhale, remember the stomach won't come up by itself. You have to use your control muscle to push it out. You have to push it out yourself. You would not expect it to inhale and the stomach come out by itself. You won't, yeah? Okay, one more time. Inhale, stomach expand. Now exhale, contract your stomach. Okay, relax. Okay, why do we do it this way? We do this because, not because we want to move, expand, or contract the abdominal. We want to move something called diaphragm. There's a very thick muscle right below the lung known as diaphragm. Yeah. So when we expand the stomach, what happens? The diaphragm will come down. So when the diaphragm comes down, the lung expand vertically. Okay? Expand vertical. When we contract the stomach, we are pushing the diaphragm upwards. So when you contract the pushing the diaphragm upwards, what happens? The lung will contract. So therefore, we are using this method to bring in maximum amount of air into the lung. Yeah. And again, this is actually very, very scientific medically. I hope you don't have this experience. Just in case, let's say, for example, you know somebody who is in the ICU, who cannot breathe. So what do? They will put ventilator. I think now ventilator, this term, many people have heard of it, tends to COVID. Yeah. So the ventilator is a machine where they push the air into a person's lung and also extract the air out. So if let's say in the event when the machine pushing the air into the patient's lung, if you observe carefully, the chest doesn't move. What is moving is the stomach, the abdominal. When the air goes in, abdominal expand. When the air pull out, abdominal contract. It's because of the movement of the diaphragm. When the air from the ventilator that push into the lung, because the lung expanded vertically, it also pushes the diaphragm downwards. Therefore, you see the abdominal get pushed out. Yeah, and when the air get contracted, pull it out, the diaphragm goes out. Therefore, you see the abdominal contract in. So this is what happened when somebody is on ventilator. So now we are trying to simulating using the ventilator, yeah, by moving abdominal outward and inward. So when this is out, diaphragm comes down, lung expand maximum. When this contract, diaphragm goes out, you contract the lung. Okay? Expel all the air, not all the air, but most of the air from the lung. So this is why we want to do it in this way. Yeah. So in fact, after this talk, after this webinar, you can start using this. You can start practicing this. Okay. And when you inhale, when you push out the abdominal, don't be too harsh. Do it gently, just gently. Inhale, then slowly coming out. Yeah? Exhale, contract it in. If you're able to move your diaphragm, your lung will be able to take up to approximately 3 liters of air. Compared to you use the normal chest breathing. Yeah, each breath you take about only 500 ml, half a liter. So that itself, you see the difference, about 6 times the difference. You can bring in 6 times more air into the lung. So if you bring in 6 times more air into the lung, given everything else the same, what happened? The oxygen level that comes in the system should be more. So this is how a breathing technique can enhances the oxygen level in the body. Okay, so so this is remember this method, abdominal method. In, out, out, in. Inhale, stomach out. Exhale, stomach in. Okay, so because we are moving the abdominal to move the diaphragm, therefore this method also known medically as diaphragmatic breathing. Okay? Medically, I should not sure that you're aware. There are certain medical professionals, they are so-called respiratory expert. So all the respiratory experts, they know what is diaphragmatic breathing in a medical way. And then they normally will coach a patient who have a serious ailment or a patient who are about to undergo very serious, let's say, surgery and so on, how to do diaphragmatic breathing. So as a post-procedure recovery process, yeah, to speed up the recovery. So this is known as diaphragmatic breathing medically, yeah. And also in the Qigong term, we refer this as 丹田 breathing, because when you expand the abdominal, you are pushing against a point here. When you contract, you're pushing the same point. This point known as 丹田. 丹田 is just an energy center. So you are actually activating an energy center all the time. So therefore, as a Qigong practitioner, we may refer this as 丹田 breathing. So abdominal breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, 丹田 breathing almost refer to the same thing. Or some people call that baby breathing, because if you observe often a baby, we are all born breathe this way automatically, except when we get older, we become breathing more and more shallow and develop into so-called chest breathing. So if somebody say baby breathing, 丹田 breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, normal abdominal breathing, all refer to the same way. Inhale, expand the abdominal, exhale, contract the abdominal. Yeah, so this is what it's doing. Yeah, so that is the basic way of how we breathe this way. And then I also want to recommend a certain cycle and timing. When we inhale, use the nose, inhale 3 seconds, not 3 times, 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because only at least 3 seconds, you're able to open out the diaphragm muscle. If it's 1 second, 2 seconds, may not be deep enough to open up the diaphragm muscle. So you have to do at least 3 seconds to be able to do that. And then we suggest you pause 3 seconds and exhale 6 seconds and pause 3 seconds, then you repeat. Yeah. So in the WNQ family, is a very famous breathing terms. We call it 3-3-6-3. We do a 3-3-6-3 timing. Inhalation 3 seconds, pause for 3 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, and pause for 3 seconds, and then repeat. I mark this rate in rate. Why? Because in the, just how I say, you're using a nose to breathe in, nose to breathe out. However, in the in Qigong practice, we classify the energy in the body as 5 different categories. You have the wood, you have the fire, you have the earth, you have matter, and the water. There are 5 different types. Therefore, in the exhalation, there are 5 different methods. There are 5 different methods, each one targeting into one particular element, one particular category of energy. So over here in the workshop, normally in a workshop like this, we will always coach people to use one of the safest and most commonly required, which is the water element. The water element is to blow the air out using your mouth, softly, gently blow out. Yeah, softly, gently blow out. Not like whistle. This is too strong. Just softly, gently blow out. Just imagine you put a piece of tissue in front of you. When you exhale, blow out, the tissue don't fly over. Yeah, the tissue may move slightly. That's all. Yeah. So this is the method that I want you to try to use. So with that, why not let me spend just about 1 or 2 minutes to guide you through this timing. Yeah, guide you through this timing. I'll give you a timing. As I give you timing, you try to do it in a sitting position or standing up position. Okay, so get yourself ready. So remember, inhale, use the nose. Exhale, you do the mouth like whistle, like blowing a candle, medically known as pursed lip. The purse, you open the pursed lip. So this is there are certain specific reason for that. So you do a pursed lip, you don't open the mouth like that, open out wide and blow out. So you're doing your pursed lip and slowly blow out. Okay, so and then at the same time contract your stomach. So now let's try to do it together. Relax first. Okay, in 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, blow out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. 1, 2, 3. In with your nose. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pause. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I hope everybody able to do it. Yeah. And so with that, I also want to highlight to you, this timing is a recommended timing. Over the last about 20, 30 years in coaching people using Qigong, we find that this is the most effective and easier to accept by most people. However, sometimes certain people have certain health condition, they may not able to follow this timing. If that's the case, you can adjust this timing. You can adjust it accordingly. So let me tell you what to adjust, where to adjust. First of all, okay. So first of all, this pause and this pause, the 2 pause, you can reduce. If 3 seconds is too long for you, you can reduce from 3 seconds to 2 seconds to 1 second. If you totally cannot pause, you don't even pause. Yeah, if it's too long. This is for those people find that they're not able to pause 3 seconds. Then you will be using this adjusted. Okay, so you let's say for example you want to do this 1, so become 3, 1, 6, 1, and then 3, 1, 6, 1. Okay, so this is the first thing you can adjust. Second, your inhale 3 seconds, you can adjust according to what you think your body is ideal for. Some people say 3 seconds not good enough. I want to do 4 seconds, fine. I want to do 5 seconds, fine. I want to do 6 seconds, also fine. No problem. Yeah. The whole idea is I want to bring down my diaphragm so that my lung can expand to maximum. That's the whole idea. Yeah. So in fact, if you are used to it, 3 seconds is actually ideal. Yeah. The first second you expand your abdominal. The second second you see you further expand, and then you start feeling that your diaphragm at the side there more or less get some. You feel something. Third second you open out your diaphragm. Yeah. So therefore, if you do it consistently like this, 3 seconds should be good enough. The next one is the exhalation. We try to do 6 seconds. You can also adjust accordingly. Let's say, for example, somebody have asthma problem, somebody have respiratory challenges, they're not able to do 6 seconds. Then never mind. So you can adjust it accordingly. However, I want to explain to you why we recommended a 3 second and 6 second here. It looks like the 6 second exhalation is longer than inhalation. And is there any reason for it? Let me explain the reason. When we're able to move the diaphragm down, we will bring in high volume of air into the lung. Basically, the whole lung will be filled with air. So one of the things which a lot of people may not be aware, when we breathe in the air, what happens is the lung will fill with the air. That's it. The oxygen, the air have not come in yet. oxygen in the air only come into the system during exhalation. So during exhalation, the body releases carbon dioxide in exchange for oxygen. Yeah. So I repeat again, during exhalation, the body releases carbon dioxide exchange for oxygen. So since we have so much air in the lung, so therefore I do not have to, in the hurry, to breathe out and take in the next inhalation. I don't have to. I can take my time, slowly exhale, so that I let the body releases more carbon dioxide and bring in more oxygen. Okay, so, and this is the key to regulating our pH ratio. Yeah, because carbon dioxide make the body acidic. When we are able to release more carbon dioxide, the pH ratio can change. Yeah, the pH ratio can change. Okay, so this is what happened, why we advocate you do a longer exhalation. Yeah, so if let's say you need 4 seconds to fill the lung, yeah, it's okay. You can do, if you feel the 6 seconds is not long enough for you, you can do 8 seconds, you go ahead. Yeah, so a general guide is inhalation, exhalation, try to do a ratio of 1 to 2, a 1 to 2 ratio. Yeah, interestingly, even if you go and read the medical book on the anatomy and so on, they also did mention about 1 to 2 ratio. Yeah, and even in the let's say like pranayama training, the Indian system, often they also mention about 1 to 2 ratio. Yeah, so the 1 to 2 ratio is because we want to allow the lung releases more carbon dioxide to take in more oxygen. Okay, so therefore you can adjust this accordingly. Again, you may want to take a picture of this. Yeah, and another thing is another last point to note is when we inhale, generally we're generating yin energy in the body, and when we exhale, generally we're generating yang energy. So therefore, in one exercise, we are regulating the yin and the yang as well. Yeah, the yin and the yang. Okay, so if we have done the breathing technique in the proper way, then the kind of benefit you can get, for example, you can reduce your stress. Okay, you can be more calm. Okay, especially using this blowing method, you can relieve pain, because when you do the breathing technique, you are activating a certain flow in the body, and that flow will make the body generating something called endorphin. Endorphin is a painkiller, some sort of painkiller. It's a natural morphine produced in the body, happy hormone as well. So you will be able to help you to manage your pain. You can stimulating the lymphatic system to detox the body. Yeah, you can improve your immunity. Yeah, you can increase your energy. You can also lower your blood pressure. If those people blood pressure is a bit too high, or even irregular heartbeat and so on, you can improve the digestive system. And also very important is to able to regulating our pH ratio. By the way, we keep saying pH ratio, pH ratio. What is the correct pH ratio? 1 most acidic, 14 most alkaline, 7 is actually in the middle, neutral. But a healthy body requires slightly alkaline. So therefore, the proper pH ratio for the body should be between 7.3 to 7.4. Between 7.3 to 7.4. So not only that the 7.374 is important, especially for people whose body is a bit too acidic, you're regulating back. At the same time, our body have auto cell renewal. Yeah, different part of the body, the cell have different age, lifespan, and at the end of lifespan, the new cell being generated. Take for example, I always very jokingly telling people, physically I'm 74 years old this year. Yeah, but my hair is not 74 years old. No? My hair probably only 2 months old, because every 5 weeks I cut my hair. So this length, most likely the oldest part of it is about 2 months. Yeah? And my skin is not 74 years old. My skin maybe a few weeks old. Let's say my blood cell, my red blood cell, maybe just a few hours. Yeah, few hours old. So because every different type of cell in the body, there's a different life cycle. And then at the end of life cycle, new cell will get generated. And one of the very important criteria for the new cell get generated is the pH ratio. You have to be at a pH ratio of between 7.3 to 74, then new cell will get generated. The cell get generated will be healthy. So we always have window opportunity for us to make sure all the new cells in the body that get regenerated, they are all healthy by observing all the areas I'm talking about, your mind, your stress level, your dieting, your lifestyle, and so on, so that we always be able to have a youthful body. Yeah. So this is what happened if we practice in the correct way. Even if we practice just the breathing method, which we discussed over the last 20 minutes, if you do it properly, you do it every day, you should be able to see the difference in you. So I will advocate you to try it out from this evening onwards. We accept one particular point to note, and it is very important to note. If you want to do it lying down position before your bedtime, that means you lie down, and then some people hit the pillow, you sleep, but some people lie down still have to wait for a while to fall asleep. Then you can do this breathing method with one thing. You have to close your eyes. You must close your eyes because our body is very intelligent. If you close your eye without any source of light, the energy that flows through the body, like just now I say, you're generating endorphin, you're generating some hormone to make you sleep better. That's melatonin. You'll be generating melatonin. If you open your eye or with the lights on, you'll be generating serotonin, then you cannot sleep. Okay, so you can practice this any time of the day. However, you will practice it at night before you go to bed, then you have to close your eyes. If possible, no light. Yeah. So so that is really what I want to share with you today. And thank you for your attention. And we probably can open up some Q&A. I saw there are some questions in the Q&A in the chat as well. So I think probably we will go to the Q&A. So how are we going to handle this?
Yes, you can just stop sharing your screen,
Okay.
then everybody sees you more, and I can read all the questions to you. Okay?
I can, okay.
Yes.
Let me.
That was wonderful. Yeah, because some are scattered in the chat.
Okay, I can't open the Q&A. I don't know.
The Q&A, you cannot open?
Yeah. Okay, I can open the chat. Let me see the Q&A.
In the chat is not...
Okay, I can open them.
Yeah?
Q&A.
Okay, so you want to go through yourself?
Okay.
I'm happy to read them to you. And
if I miss anything, please remind me. How does one measure qi scientifically, or how do we know it exists? Okay, so this is a very interesting question. How does we know that qi exists? That's a good question. Perhaps just do a simple experiment. Yeah, if you bring your palm face each other, yeah, and you try to open and close slowly, not at this chest level, you bring it down slightly. I don't want to show you my palm, therefore I put it high up, but you just do this, open and close slowly, okay, slowly. Then you probably will be able to feel something. Yeah, you can feel something between your palm. You may feel, some of you may feel there's some warmness. Some of you may feel as though you're holding two pieces of magnet. Yeah, and these two pieces of magnet is moving closer to each other. Okay, so this is, what is this feel? This is actually the qi, the energy that we have. This qi is radiance out from our body because our energy is electromagnetic in nature. Okay, so I hope you are able to to feel that. And I mean, if you're really more interested, then perhaps one day I should be able to let you understand and even feel it. So that is the easier way for you to really try to feel qi do exist. How does one measure the qi scientifically? There are equipment to do that. Yeah. In fact, I'm sure you heard of this frequency known as Schumann resonance, 7.83 hertz. Yeah, the scientific research also noticed that the energy in the body in a healthy person is also vibrating at 7.83 hertz, which is the earth vibration. Yeah, so that's all I can tell you, but I don't have that equipment. Yeah, you can actually go into the Google and just type 7.83. Yeah, then you can see a lot of information in there. Okay. Okay, so next question, do I conduct any classes? I'm not doing marketing here. You can go to our website to take a look, yeah? And lung, okay, the next question is about the lung fibrosis. Lung fibrosis, we have some experience that we taught the person using the breathing technique. So I remember this person came to us. At that point in time, the SpO2 is very low. Yeah, this is even before the COVID. At that point in time, not many people know SpO2, but the SpO2 is quite low. A healthy person now, everybody knows, should be try to be maintain 95 and above. So that person came to us very low, and it was recommended to use oxygen machine almost at 24 hours because her SpO2 is so low. I remember correctly, about 70 plus 80. That's all, very, very low. And then besides, she's on special medication. So after she practices the Tan breathing method, and we help her to regulating her energy. And he was very surprised by the doctor that her SpO2 go up to more than 95%. I think it was a 3 months period, after a 3 months period. Yeah. So that is our experience with this condition. But I must warn, these are healing, natural healing. Different body can react to energy differently. Okay, so one case does not mean you apply to 100%. Yeah, so this is something I want to emphasize. Okay, however, the experience is if you do the proper breathing method, they should be able to help in certain extent. Yeah. Okay, next question. Can I explain what is meridian? Meridian is a path that energy flow through. Yeah? So, for example, you have the skeleton system, you have the respiratory system, you have the circulation, so you have the vein, and you have the artery and so on for the circulation, blood circulation system. For energy system, you have the meridian where the energy will flow through along that path, and each meridian go to one specific organ. For example, the lung, there's a specific path, go to, we call it lung meridian. The heart, you have the heart meridian and so on. So that's all I can explain to you. It's a path of the energy flow. Okay. So is there any external energy around us? Can we heal ourselves? Okay, the next question, very interesting question from Vincent. Is there...
Maybe you can also, read the question because the participants cannot read the question.
Okay. Thank you.
Only in the chat they can. But
okay. Next question, is there external energy all around us? And can we heal ourselves by tapping into this source without a healer? Okay, it's a very, very good question. Yes, there are energy around us. Yeah, there are energy around us. There are energy of different frequency around us. Yeah, so technically we can tap energy around us, but we must know what energy to tap. Take for example, just now I mentioned that scientifically proven that our energy is vibrating at 7.83 hertz. The earth energy also vibrating at 7.83 hertz. The universe energy within the hemisphere is also vibrating at the same frequency. So therefore, if you know what to do with a proper technique, we can then synchronize our energy with the earth energy and the universe energy. So in the Qigong, traditional Qigong practice, some people refer these three energies as the three treasures. Three treasures: universe energy, human energy, earth energy. So in some of the Qigong training, you help you to synchronize it. So once you are synchronized, then at any point in time, if your own energy frequency is not correct, then there's a good chance that the other two energy will be able to help you to bring it, regulating you. Okay, but you need to have a proper training. So the answer is yes, there are always energy around us. If then with the correct training, you have technique for you to tap into the correct source. Yeah, so this technique will help you to do self-healing as well. But of course, this is not the only source in do self-healing. You may have to complement with a movement technique, breathing technique, and so on. Take for example, if you need to regulating your pH ratio, you use this tapping energy will not help you. You have to do breathing technique to regulating your pH ratio. Okay, so I hope you answered that question. Okay. Okay, the next question from the same person. How can we do a body scan to find out where the blockages? For a layman, it's not easy. Yeah, be very frank. You cannot scan yourself to say, oh, I blockage here, I blockage there. So you need to have somebody to help you. Very sorry to say that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next question. How do we measure pH ratio on our body? You need to go to a medical professional to do that. Of course, the pH ratio for urine is always included as part of your blood test, urine test. Yeah. So that is an indication. However, the urine pH ratio is always slightly acidic compared to your body pH ratio, your blood pH ratio. Okay, same question. Let me see. Okay, the next question, why breathing out from the mouth and not the nose? That's why I asked you to breathe out from the mouth, because this is a most easiest way. There are, as I mentioned to you, there are 5 different categories of energy. This particular method is related to the water element. Water element will help you to release stress, help you to calm yourself, help you to regulating your blood pressure. And this is one of the breathing methods which most people require. That's the reason why I asked you to use the mouth. Yeah, you can use the nose. The nose is for matter element, yeah, which is for different purposes, which may not be that common among the people. Yeah. Okay, good. The breathing method, how long should we do it for? Each session, I recommend each time you have to do it, the 3-3-6-3, repeat 3-6-3. Ideally, you should do for about 15 minutes. If you do it too short, it may not have effect. So 15 minutes is ideal. It's not too long, it's not too short. Yeah? So 15 minutes is a recommended duration. Okay, the next question is same question about pH level. So, okay. Why sometimes, next question, why sometimes when I attend webinar, I get dose off? How to avoid it? Okay.
Watch standing up. Sit down.
Yeah, good answer. Stand up or move. Well, this is, I really do not know. Do you always doze off? If you frequently doze off, that is a sign to show you that perhaps when you try to concentrate, you easily get tired. So you have to do something to that. Huh? But of course, the best way to stand up to attend the webinar. Good way, good way. Okay. Okay, the next question. What is the best time to practice a breathing routine, morning or night? There's no best time. You can practice anytime. Okay, for breathing and practice anytime. Just want to refocus again. When you practice at night time, before you go to bed, remember close your eyes, so that you can have a very good sleep. Okay. By the way, even you practice daytime with the eyes open or close eyes is up to you. No problem. Okay. What is the advisable time duration? Okay, 15 minutes. When I do. Okay, the next question is, when I do the abdominal breathing, I felt a little bit dizzy. Does it indicate anything? Good. I do not know who is this person. Asked very good question. If you feel dizzy, for beginners, when you started to do abdominal breathing, if you do feel dizzy, then it is an indication to tell us perhaps in the normal situation, the oxygen that go to your brain area is not high enough. Yeah? When you do the abdominal breathing, remember the first thing it does is enhances oxygen level. So it enhances oxygen level, it goes to the first thing go to your brain. So you have never experienced so much of oxygen, you may feel a bit dizzy, which is actually quite common for people who started to do this kind of breathing technique. So it should be okay, no problem, just monitor. And then you feel that this so-called dizziness feeling should be slowly ease off, and then eventually you do not get such a problem. But if after 1 week or 2 weeks of practice, you still feel the same, then perhaps you want to know why. Yeah, I have given you my email address just now at the thank you page. You can just write me an email. I can try to help you. Okay, the next question I mentioned about Qigong and help spine sclerosis. How does it help? Okay, the Qigong, just now you saw the video where we do a non-touch. What happened is when we send energy into a receiving party, we are sending energy along the spinal cord. If there's no sclerosis, then the spinal cord is straight. The meridian that along the spinal cord have no blockage. So when you send energy, the energy just flow through smoothly. Yeah. However, if there's any sclerosis, you will created a blockages along that meridian. So when you have blockages along the meridian, the healer have to send in stronger energy. So what happened is, take for example, if you have a water hose, a rubber hose, attached to a tap, and you on the tap, the water flow through, and if the tap is not straight, what happened? When the water pressure is strong, the tap will move to allow the water to flow. See the scenario? So if the meridian, there are blockages, when the energy that be sent by the healer is strong enough, you will create this auto reaction of the body, that the body will move into a certain angle. The purpose is to allow the energy to flow. So in other words, indirectly, the body is doing self-alignment of the spine. Okay? So over time, your spine will then be able to move into the correct, proper posture. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so we activating the receiving party's energy flow and let the energy flow to correct the posture problem, okay? The structural problem. So that's how it works. Huh? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, the next one talking about, do you need a blood test to know your pH? Yes, the answer is yes. How long should we do the breathing? 15 minutes. Okay. Can I know how healthy is your cell membrane? There's no, unless you have the specific equipment to do that, but you use how do we know we are healthy? Whether you have any issue, yeah, whether you have any health issue. If you have no health issue, then most likely you're healthy. But if when you have health issue, they will try to trace back what causes the health issue. But most of the time, if you go deeper, it's because the cellular level, something is not correct. And at the cellular level, where is the area we need to focus to? Is the cell membrane. Yeah, so that's all I can comment. Huh? Okay, the next question, how do you know our pH is at 7? Again, you need to do a test. Okay, the next question, ideally, how many times we should do the breathing method? If you are relatively feel healthy, once a day should be enough. You can do it morning or do it nighttime. Huh? Okay, my heartbeat usually around 95 to 100 per minute. Will breathing practice help to lower it and hopefully reduce anxiety? Yes, if you have that kind of issue, your heartbeat relatively high, or you want to reduce your anxiety, you do the breathing technique I mentioned just now with the soft blow method. Yeah. Okay, so the next question, is there any difference of breathing in through nose, out through mouth versus breathing in through nose and out through nose? Yes, because different way, they activating different type of energy. if you exhale through your mouth, activating the water element type of energy. If you are breathing out through your nose, you're activating matter type of elements. Can I use Bai Qi on myself for healing? There was the next question. You need to be trained. Yeah, you need to be trained. For self-healing, you always refer to the self-healing method. You have to pick the correct practice method, and then you go through the sequence that I mentioned: relaxation, activating, and so on. Okay, the next question: are there software or camera to capture one's aura? Does a different aura color represent any meaning? Okay, in Qigong, we do not look into the color. Okay, we are looking into the profile of the 5 elements. Okay, that's what I do. And they are camera that capture aura, but actually the camera software that capture aura is not really a picture aura. It actually senses your biofeedback. You normally have to hold to a sensor, and based on your biofeedback, they will be generating the color based on the software definition. Okay, and then superimpose to your own picture. So that's what the so-called aura camera is doing. Okay, the next question: can Qigong help a person have a slightly curved spine, and therefore making the person always breathless? If you have a slightly curved spine and then always breathless, then it's not just slightly curved spine, and also the position of the curve. Yeah. So if it's just slightly, let's say 10 degree, 11 degree, and so on, C curve, depending where it is, even at the thoracic area, it should not cause breathlessness, unless your spine is inverted, that press against your lung, or unless your rib cage is being twisted, that press against the lung. Otherwise, it will not cause your breathing problem. So if you have breathlessness, I think I recommend that you really do a thorough investigation. What causes it? Because breathlessness can be due to many things. Yeah, breathlessness, if it's serious, it could be due to perhaps cardiovascular disease issue, like artery blockages. Okay, so have to be a bit cautious. So if you are talking about a person frequently have breathlessness, then I would suggest the person do a proper investigation. What causes it? Yeah. Don't think that if this person happened to have a slight curve at the spine, and you think it's caused by the spine. Yeah. From experience, I don't think a slight curve of spine will cause that. Yeah. So my suggestion to whoever asks this question is to get a proper investigation. What is the cause of it? Okay. The next question. My mom, 83 years old, always wake up in the morning with a slight headache, located mainly on the top of the head. Blood pressure under control. Anything can help. Okay, your description here have not enough for me to make a so-called suggestion. Yeah. So you say slight headache, mainly located on top of the head. So it doesn't sound migraine. Okay. And she's 83 years old. I do not know whether is it because of any qi circulation issue. Because when we sleep, our blood circulation or energy circulation slow down. So a lot of people, when they wake up in the morning, they have all kinds of symptoms, maybe numbness, stiffness, and so on. But after they move around, then they're okay. So if your mom's case, when she wake up in the morning, she have that kind of feeling. But after a while, after a couple of minutes, when she move around, she's completely okay. Then that may be an indication that is due to energy slow down, blood circulation slow down at night. And if it's related to the head, it could be caused by the flow that's along the neck. Yeah. So that's all I can comment. Yeah. But other than that, I'm not able to give any suggestion what to do and so on. Yeah. Okay, the next question, how does sound improve internal organs? Is there a certain specific frequency applied to a particular organs? In Qigong practice, using of sound is one of the ancient Qigong, which have been passing down generation to generation for about 5,000 years. Okay, so again, this is a wisdom that passed down, that when you make a certain specific sound, you'll be helping the energy flow to a certain specific organs. Yeah, so that particular sound, it created a vibration that vibrating the meridian that related to the organs. Yeah, so that is how the healing sound Qigong, the ancient healing sound Qigong have been there for so long. Imagine if that Qigong is not effective, it will not survive for 5,000 years. Huh? The fact that it has been passing down generation after generation for 5,000 years, it have to be many successful cases. Otherwise, people will not pass on to the next generation. Huh? So that's all I can tell you. And those specific sounds is through years of experience. They happen to find that there are 6 sounds. So it's actually not difficult to learn. If it's just 6 syllables, you just have to do it in a proper way, followed by very simple movement. Then you'll be able to 6. Why 6? Huh? Because we have more than 6 organs. Yeah. So in the Qigong traditional Chinese medicine, we have 12 organs. So all the 12 organs come in the pair of 1 yin, 1 yang. So that means there are 6 pair. So 6 pair, you need only 6 sounds. So each sound, you will be regulating a pair of 1 yin and 1 yang. So therefore, only 6 sounds. Okay. Okay, the next one, is it advisable for a person who has undergone coronary cancer surgery recently to do the breathing method, especially the pause action? Okay, even the person who undergo surgery, yeah, even though you have done the, let's say the colon surgery and so on, it is okay. It's quite safe to do the breathing technique. Yeah, you do not breathe in too hard, do not breathe out too hard. Just gently breathe in and out. It should be okay. In fact, the diaphragmatic breathing is one of the way that the respiratory expertise in the medical field always advocate people who undergo major surgery like heart bypass and so on to do it as a post-recovery, yeah, to speed up the post-recovery. So it is perfectly all right, no problem. Okay, what is the tender breathing? Can you please explain the step? Okay, I am not familiar with that, so I have no comment on it. Huh? This is actually one of the Indian system. I only specialize in the Qigong system. Okay. Okay, where to find the correct training provider? You can perhaps go to Google and do a search, and then to try to know their background and try to see what are their credentials, their experience, and from there narrow down who you should go to. Yeah. So if you want to find a proper trainer. Is it healthier to breathe less? No. Why healthier to breathe less? Unless, okay, I do not know what you mean breathe less. Huh? Because I want to, when you say breathe less, take for example, I've been doing Qigong for 40 over years. I've been doing Dantian breathing for almost 40 years. So Dantian breathing is actually natural to me. It's a second nature. If you do the exercise every day at the same time for 3 months, you'll rebuild your habit of breathing. You'll reprogram your subconscious mind. Okay? So because of that, actually, I only notice I do not breathe as much as what other people breathing. Okay? A normal person, chest breathing, usually you will breathe 16 to 18 cycles per minute. Between 16 to 18 cycles. Say a person in the ICU, you hook onto a gadget and they'll give you indicator. They give you blood pressure, give you respiratory, give you heart rate, heartbeat. And there's one indicator very important. They call it respiratory rate. The respiratory rate means how many times you breathe per minute. If a person's breathing frequency is more than about 24, if I remember correctly, the alarm will be on, will be go off. Huh? So the nurse station, they will know, they will come in and check actually what happened to this person. Because when they breathe too many times, yeah, then what happened? The oxygen level goes down. Yeah? Interestingly, yeah, now you understand why, because you exhale, you bring in oxygen. So if you breathe too fast, you don't have enough time to bring oxygen. Yeah? You may worse still go into hyperventilation. Yeah? You're getting worse. So therefore, if you are talking about breathing, respiratory, then your comment of breathing less is better. Yes, I accept. Okay, because our body is very intelligent. Just how I was sharing, I mean, for me, if I am going on with my daily activities and so on, generally I do not breathe 16 to 18 times per minute. I will not know. I breathe about 4 times per minute or less. I don't even have to think about it. If you follow the 3-3-6-3, 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 3 seconds, add to 15 seconds. So 1 minute you do 4 cycles. In my case, automatically my body breathes less than 4 cycles. Yeah, and the body is intelligent. If I need to breathe more frequent, the body will give command to do so. So you are talking about respiratory rate, and it's natural. So your comment of healthier when you breathe less is acceptable. Yeah. Other than that, it's not acceptable. Okay. We have to make sure there is enough oxygen, there is enough energy for us to go about to do our things. Huh? Where can we learn this technique? I think you're referring to the breathing technique. Okay, if it's actually the technique I already described to you just now, yeah, how the Dantian breathing is working. Even to learn the full technique, then you probably have to go to a training course which cover all those things. Yeah. Where is my center? You can go to the website. Okay, you can go to the website to check. We have 2 centers. We have a clinic. We have a training center. Yeah, so it's in the website. Okay, the next question. Parkinson patient have weak legs. How to improve energy there? Parkinson patient have weak legs. It's not. It's because of the degeneration of the brain cell, which controls the movement. Okay. So because of degeneration of the brain cell, therefore, the proper method to handle this is to work on the brain cell. Yeah? So you have to look into how the brain take in the energy, what the energy that the brain take in, yeah, and whether this person's lifestyle have enough or not of such in their diet habit. If it's not, then you have to make some changes to the diet. Yeah. So that's all I can say. So it's not the leg weakened. Some of them they cannot walk properly. It's all because of the brain. So the target is in the brain. Yeah, you have to work on the brain. Yeah. Okay. The next question is it advisable to breathe in and out using the mouth? For hygiene purpose, we will advocate all the inhalation should be through nose, because the nose will filter the air, will be regulating the airflow, will be regulating the air temperature. Yeah. So the nose is the respiratory system, a very complex system. Okay. Not just breathe in, not to hold go to the lung. There are many things in between. So if possible, use the nose. However, if the nose is totally blocked, you have no choice. You have to use a mouth. Then only you use a mouth. Otherwise, we always say use a nose to breathe in. Yeah. Next question. Can you reduce the body pH by taking acidic fruits or food? What are alkaline food? Okay, I think your question, maybe there's some slight problem. You say, can we reduce, I mean, the pH, what I mean, I think you try to say increase the alkaline level. Huh? Even increase alkaline level, you don't take acidic fruits or food. You take alkaline fruits or food. Yeah. On the other hand, if you're taking too much acidity nature of fruits, then of course your body pH ratio can also be affected. But the most important factor that affecting a pH ratio is the breathing. The food, yes, no doubt can affect us, but not as much as affected by the breathing. Yeah. And also another thing that affecting our pH ratio is stress. When a person has stress, then the pH ratio tend to be slightly acidic. Okay. So management of stress is very important. Yeah. Okay. When I do breathing exercise, I feel pain sensation in my ankle. Does this mean there's blockages? Okay, the question here is, when this person doing the breathing exercise, they feel pain at the ankle, does this mean there are blockage at the ankle? The answer is yes. If you do the breathing exercise or do any form of Qi activation exercises, and if you feel pain or certain sensation at a certain part of the body, that's an indication to tell you, look out for that part of the body. There could be some blockages there. Okay, so the answer to your question, yes, if you feel pain and anger, then there could be indication there are blockages there. In Chinese saying, there's a saying say in Chinese, 不通则痛. What it means that when the energy flow is blocked, you will create a pain sensation. So when there's blockage, you will create sensation, pain. Okay, the next question here, sometimes we used to have pain here and there. Is it because of air trap? Can Qigong help to release the air trap? Yes, when you're talking about air, that's a gas. Some people have very gassy digestive system. If you have the gas or air, you know what you mean, trapped in your intestine, it can be very, very painful. Yeah, can be very painful. So that kind of indication, you have air trap, you will have it. Normally, it's in your intestine, and in other part of the body, you seldom have air that been trapped there is that creating pain. Normally, is energy being trapped or blocked, then you create a pain. Okay, so related to air trapping, it can create a pain, which usually happen in the digestive system. Other part of body normally is the energy. Yeah. Okay, next question, how to reach me? You can go to the website, or you can just Google my name, then you should be able to know. Okay, right. Okay, the next question is, you have anti-synthetic syndrome attacking your own cell. I think this is part of an autoimmune problem. How can Qigong help? This kind of problem, which under the autoimmune category, usually we look into more than just Qigong. We look into Qigong. Another area we particularly look at will be the external factor. Yeah, because very often our energy can be affected by external factor. External factor means, are you exposed to geophatic line? Yeah. Is there any, let's say, for example, there's a big generator next to you, or is there a communication tower near a house, things like that. And if that's the case, you could have distorted our information sending during the between the cell, and then as a result, our immune system receiving wrong signal, then you may attack our own body. Okay, so Qigong is we do have help quite a number of people from experience to overcome their autoimmune type of problem. But very often, not just Qigong exercises or Qigong healing, you have to be incorporate other factors as well. Yeah, so that is from my experience. Okay, the next question is, once we activate the energy, how do we close it? Do we have to close it? When you activate, yeah, let's say, for example, you're using your breathing technique to activate. Take for example, then when you stop doing that technique, you will not be activating anymore. You're just flowing along the meridians in the natural way. So unless you're doing a full set of Qigong training, which involving all kinds of circulation, you do your inner orbit, you do your outer orbit, you go all the meridian, you go into many things. you do internal circulation and so on, then you do certain proper closing. Other than that, if you are doing activation, for example, if I teach you the breathing technique, help you to activate your energy, you do not have to do a closing. Yeah, it's very, very safe. Okay. Okay. Next question. After COVID positive, the type of fatigue is very, very different and very tight. Is there any explanation for it? Okay, this is involving because the COVID is actually affecting different part of the body, affecting the lung. It may even affecting the digestive system. It may affecting your kidney. It may, yeah. So these are the organs. So because of that, very frequent post-COVID, some of the post-COVID patient, they feel very tired. So what you need to do is, I suggest, is to work on those organs. Yeah, if you're not sure, work on all the organs. Yeah, so by doing so, then hopefully you're able to recover back, slowly recover back. It may take some time. How long it take, I do not know. Depending on your condition, depending on your body condition as well. Okay, the next question, how can Qigong heal damaged spinal cord caused by accident? Okay, if it's depending on the type of damage, it doesn't mean that all damages are able to reverse. Yeah, so there's something I want to say. So I'm not able to, you just say damaged spinal cord. To what extent it damaged? Okay? Where is the damage? Is it at the cervical area, thoracic area, lumbar area? What is your problem now? So only after knowing more detail, then we're able to assess what is the chances of recovering using the Qigong technique. Yeah. Okay, the next question, do you have a website that you can visit? Yeah, the website is wellnessmedicalqigong.com.
We posted it already in the chat a few times.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so it's posted in the chat. You go to the chat, then you should be able to see. Yeah. Can Qigong reduce blood cholesterol level? Okay, cholesterol level, yes, Qigong, there are certain technique to regulate the cholesterol. Certain technique, which involving movement and breathing technique. Yeah, so if you do that, they've been proven quite effective to reduce the cholesterol level. Yeah, we have quite a lot of experience. We see people do that after about 3 months, and so they see their level goes down. In fact, all these are proven through their blood tests. Huh? Your breathing, can your breathing method help regulating the heart? I think you're talking about irregular heartbeat. If it's irregular heartbeat, yes, the breathing technique should help you to recover back, regulating back. Okay. The next question was told by doctor that breathlessness is because the curve. Oh, okay. So your spinal curve is happen to be at the lung level, the thoracic, most probably will be thoracic, maybe 4 or 5 level. But if it's just a slight curve, then that means the curve should be either quite a serious curve, maybe beyond 20 degrees, or your spinal have some like tilted, slightly tilted, not just curve, but slightly tilted. Only by doing so, you can affect your breathing. So I think we have to look into the actual situation. Yeah. So I think this is a follow-up comment from the previous one. I don't quite understand this next question. My lung and muscle weaken and pain are currently affected. JO1 and RO52. I don't quite understand that. Yeah, I don't know what you mean of JO1 and RO52. Okay. Okay, my heartbeat usually 9,500. Yeah, this is the same one I think I have I mentioned just now. Can Qigong help sleep disc located at lumbar 4-5 S1, S2? Probably L5, S1. Huh? Normally you don't have S1, S2. So if the lumbar area, very common, L4, L5 and L5, S1. Yeah. Yes, we have quite a number of experience in helping people to overcome such a problem. Yeah. how do we or can we use breathing technique or jogging or running? Yeah, you can do a certain specific breathing technique while you do jogging or running. If you do jogging and running, you cannot do 3-3-6-3. No way. You cannot breathe so slow. Then how are you going to run and jog? So I just want to give you a tip since you asked this question. If you are doing jogging or running, I will suggest you do, I call this double intake inhalation. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Yeah, because you have to breathe very fast. Yeah, inhale, inhale, exhale. So use your nose, inhale, inhale, using nose to breathe out or the mouth to breathe out. So something like that. Okay, so this will help you to have more stamina and more energy in your running. Okay, even if you, let's say, go for a walk, you go out hill walk, you can try that. You'll be very different. The next question, can Qigong help Alzheimer patient? It depends on the stage of Alzheimer patient. This is quite similar to the Parkinson that I'm talking about. Actually, Alzheimer, Parkinson, and all this, some people call it as a diabetes of the brain. That means the brain that suffering from diabetes. The brain cannot use the glucose to act as a what we call energy source for the brain cell. So as a result, long term, the brain cell been degenerating. So this is actually one of the common cause. So very often, when patients like this, we teach them Qigong where to activating their brain cell. At the same time, we also suggest them to look into dieting aspect and so on. So therefore, they have this keto dieting that have been invented. Yeah? Keto dieting can be one of the methods that people can use for those people who have Parkinson or Alzheimer. Yeah, so you can explore that. And from Qigong side, we'll play our part using energy to activate the brain cell. Yeah? Okay, the next question, your course.
Which is the last one?
Oh, last one. Okay, thank you so much. Is your course conducted online and or in person? Actually, the beginner's course we have online because of the COVID. Before that was in person, but because of lockdown, so last 2 years part of our training is for self-healing, we can do online, but for treating others, we have to be in person. Yeah. So for the last 2 years, we never do that course because of the MCO situation. Hopefully, the situation will be over and then we can be back to normal. So thank you so much for all your questions.